everyone, I'm Renee, and this is Island House Handmade. Today I'm sewing. It's still cold here, and I'm just looking for something warm and cozy that I can snuggle on the couch for the next couple of months. So I got this luxury Minky fabric, and I'll be making this Berta style pop over top. It's a drop shoulder. What it looks like is a big wide turtleneck. It'll just slouch down and I can pull the drawstring to make myself feel a little bit warmer. I have one spool of thread that matches, so this will be for my top stitch. And then on my overlock machine, I have to just use close enough random mix and match threads. So I have gray, and then I'll probably, after I straight stitch, put this in. All right, so let's get going on this one. I'll see you over at the cutting table. I did a test with the setup with the mixed grays and one of the green tones, and I took a little square and I went around, and then I actually did the hem with the green in the straight stitch, and I think overall I'm really satisfied with the way it blends. So nothing jarring on the inside. It's gonna look pretty good when I'm finished. First step on this is I'll set up the kangaroo pocket. My Minky fabric is very hairy, should we say, and it's getting all over the place. So I'll go around with the overlock machine and just set it up now. Okay, here's my kangaroo pocket. I have all my overlock, and just to let you know, the pattern piece has a mark out for where you're setting the pocket. Before you set the pocket, you need to clean finish the edge that is the opening. So I'll bend back this edge ½ an inch, bring it over to the straight stitch machine and get that ready. Then we can top apply the pocket onto the front of this panel. And you can see all the little hairs. So it's pretty hairy. And then essentially what we'll have is this. Then we need to top apply it. Then we can start building the rest of the body. Here you can see all the mirror edging, and there where I bent it back on the opening edge. And it's about 5/8. It looks like 3/4, but the fur, I think, is making it look a little bit more than it is. So I just went down and made sure that everything was the same on both sides, and then you could fold it in half and just make sure everything meets so that you have a nice mirrored image. Take your pattern and just place it back onto half of this front. Then you'll know if you fold this in half and you line it up with the placement. See, there's a line here. This is your finished line for the pocket. Fold your pocket in half and then you'll find the center. The paper is the center. So we'll just line that up. Okay, now I can open the pocket. Measures 4 inches from the side and 4 inches from the side. Let's get this side. 4 inches and 4 inches. This is, remember, if you're using fabric with a nap, cut nap down. Nap up makes it look like this. Nap down is when it's comfortable to the touch. We need a 1/2 inch, bend back, and then pin it. Now turn under your seam allowance, set everything up, give it a nice measure. It's 2 inches from the bottom edge up. Use a different color thread and just start by basting this pocket in place. This will help really with any fabric that you're using. You will not have to rip out and do over if you just take your time and a couple of extra steps. Now that I have the kangaroo pocket basted all along the front, I'll take my time and show you how it looks right when I'm finished. This came out really good. I did take my time and I adjusted a few of my stitches. But here you can see it's on, my hand goes in. I can remove the basting stitch, and then here down at the bottom, I'm just taking this basting stitch out. Now that the pocket is in place and everything looks nice, we can go ahead to our next step, which is right sides together. You'll sew the shoulder seam. I did overlock and then I stitched my seam allowance. What I did was I took the sleeve, you can see, and I sewed all along the top edge of the sleeve cap. Now all I have to do is take this, match up these underarm seams on the sleeve, and then all I have to do is sew the sleeve inseam and all the way down the side seam in one step. One stitch and my side seam and my underarm seam are made. So I love setting in sleeves this way. The pattern has a little X on it. I'll mark where that X is and I'll make a buttonhole. Here is where that little X is, marking chalk. And I'll put a nice chalk line. I'm going through the chalk line. I'm gonna flip it over so I could see the other side, and here I'll add another chalk line. This tells me where I need to place that buttonhole so that the drawstring can come through. I'll refer to your pattern. It's a 1/2 inch below the fold, so that's where you have to start that buttonhole. This is the center back seam, so eventually we will sew this together, but we need to put the buttonhole first while it's flat. And I'll show you that this gets folded, so it's a nice big wide turtleneck, and it will slouch down. Here I have the 2 marks that I made with the chalk, and we want them to start 1/2 inch below. So I'll put a line and a line. That's where I'll stop. This is the top of the buttonhole, 1/2 inch long, and make those buttonholes right here. And that's to exit my ties. Time to put the buttonholes into the turtleneck. I have a little interfacing that I'll iron on the back on the inside. And this is before you start making the buttonholes. I have my buttonhole guide here with just a little white 5/8 button, and this tells the machine how big to make the buttonhole. So let's go set up this on the machine, and I'll iron this on inside to set up the stabilizer, and head over to the machine with me to make these buttonholes. Pressing down the edge, the top edge, with this pressing cloth. This is just a piece of muslin, lightweight muslin. I can open this up and I can see where it's the fold line here on the back. This is where I'll line up my fusing. Just a little press in the area where the buttonhole will be. Now I can take the old foot off, put on the new foot, and there's a piece in the back here that you have to pull down in order to get the buttonhole setting to work. Select the buttonhole that you are looking to make. I will just go with this plain one. I have a nice little piece to test. This is where the buttonhole will go. So it's in there. Really hard to see with this Minky, but it worked out perfect. I ended up marking and making the buttonhole from the back so that I could see. This is where you start and then you work your way up, over, and down. So I made this line so I could see exactly the direction the buttonhole was going in. This is the inside. This is the outside. Here are the buttonholes. I just have to slice through them very carefully. Now that the buttonholes are finished, the center back seam needs to be sewn. This just gets opened and then folded right sides together and sew along this seam with the overlock and a straight stitch. Then I can set it into the neckline. I need to overlock the bottom sleeves and hem them and the bottom edge of the opening. Before I continue, you can see it's a little bit rippled here, so I want to press before I continue. All finished sewing and pressing. Now you fold it, well, the wrong sides together like this. I'll just put a clip. Here's the collar. You have your center back seam, and the instructions are for a top stitch. You have to create a tunnel for the tie. So in here, here's the exit holes, the button holes that we made. Now we need a tunnel 1 inch below the top folded edge. I tried on the top and the sleeves were a little long, so I need a 2-inch hem. I'm leaving it instead of cutting it, but I decided to give it a nice little hand stitch, invisible stitch on the inside. This plush fabric is so thick, and I want it to look nice on the sleeves from the outside. So I thought a nice little inside hand stitch would be nice. I'm almost to the finish line. It's time to set on the turtleneck. The center back seam, you need to find the center back neck. Pull this right side together. I'll pin everything really well. This will be my last stitch. And I can wear this weekend because it's going to be really cold out. It's already really cold out. And I can't wait to cuddle up. Final step, feed the twill tape through the neckline at the buttonholes. This will just take a minute. I use a safety pin and go right through that buttonhole and feed it through. And the only thing left to do after this is to wear it, and I cannot wait to wear this tonight. I'm excited. I hope you stayed till the end of this video so that you could see how it turned out. And I'll pop this on for you as soon as this is ready, and you can see the final result. That's it, all set. I'll go try it on and show you how it turned out. All finished. This is super cozy. I love it. I can cinch the neckline and keep myself really warm. And the kangaroo pocket is perfect for sitting on the recliner with my hands in my pocket. I love it. Thank you so much for staying till the end. I hope I inspired you to have a creative day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.